What's up everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is David Z Lutango, but you can call me Z Love. If you're new here, please go down below, hit that like, subscribe, and notification bell so YouTube notifies you every time I post a video. But if you're a regular, a returning subscriber, I want to say thank you so much for coming back and tuning in one more time. On today's video, I want us to reflect on the year so far. You know, it's June, almost the end of June. And most of us are feeling like we haven't really achieved anything or haven't achieved much of the things that we had set out for ourselves for the year, or some of us might have fallen off when it comes to our New Year's resolutions. Some of us might feel like our year is not going the way we planned it to go, or we wanted it to go, or we would have liked it to go, especially after the 2 years of pandemic that we've just been through. So if you're interested in today's video, please stay tuned as we jump straight into it. You know, most of us are in our 20s and we haven't really figured out what we really want to do with ourselves, or some of us have not really found our passions or things that will drive us to a point where we reach our dreams. Some of us are not even sure about what we want in our lives or how to reach the goals or the dreams that we have set out for ourselves, because for so many years growing up, we have been taught that we can't do certain things, we can't be certain things, because it was way out of our reach, depending on the kind of environment you grew up in, the background that we come from, whether it's monetary or in terms of access. You know, most of us didn't have access to certain things, so having big dreams was really not something that most of us, especially as Black people, could have in our communities, because it was always that thing of, how can you want to be this? Who have you seen do this? Who in the community or who in your family have you seen do a certain thing? So that's kind of discouraging. Right? They're clipping our wings to a point where we can't fly as further as we want to, right? And now we find ourselves in our 20s, destitute, out of high school, some of us out of college or varsity, and still do not know what we want to do. Some of us don't even like the things that we studied in varsity or in college. Now we're here and we really haven't figured this whole shit out. And personally, I don't want to work 9 to 5. I don't see myself doing that. I don't dream of labor. I don't. But obviously, we have to do something. We have to do something, figure ourselves out. And I feel like there's this pressure in our 20s where we find ourselves looking at our other peers who have found their passions and have worked on them and have garnered money or a certain status in our communities that we also want, and we feel bad and we beat ourselves up when you see these people doing the things that we wanted to do, when we see them on Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, everywhere. Now, we beat ourselves up because we are not at that level yet, and we always ask ourselves, how long will it take for me to get there? And it's discouraging sometimes, most of the time, because it gets to a point where you give up because you're like, this shit is not working, so I might as well just drop the ropes and go and try something else. You know, I believe I had the same conversation with you guys sometime last year, and I asked, what the fuck are you doing with your 20s, right? In that video, I came across as someone who had their shit figured out when I didn't, right? And somewhere down the line, I ended up quitting because I saw that YouTube was not working out as fast as I wanted it to do, as much as I had wanted it to go, and I just quit. I just dropped the ropes because yes, this is what I wanted to do, and this is what I want to do, but at that point in time, it was like, it's not as satisfying anymore because I am not getting the results that I wanted. Because I felt like I'm running out of time, and I've been comparing myself to my peers who are not even 30 yet. You know, I'm still before even 25. They're not even 25 yet, but they have all of these things for themselves. And here I am as a 22-year-old thinking, how the fuck am I going to achieve these things in just 3 years? Now it's probably like 2.5 years now. And I'm beating myself up thinking, how the hell am I going to achieve all of these things? How am I going to live this life that this person is living at this certain age with this amount of time left, you know? And this whole thing of feeling like I'm running out of time is, I think it's set up a society or social media to make us think that our 20s are supposed to be our prime years, whereas from 30 onwards, it's like you're old and you're supposed to be settling down, finding a family, getting married, blah, blah, blah. When in actual fact, that does not really have to happen like that, you know. It's all this pressure and just the pressure of trying to do enough, of trying to feel enough, of trying to be enough, and trying to have enough money so that you don't have to worry about what you have to go to bed and wake up and eat tomorrow morning, or what you have to eat before you go to bed. You get the analogy. This all comes from the mindset of scarcity, right? Most of us have grown up in this poorer backgrounds, and we've come from different backgrounds, right? And some of us come from money, some of us don't come from money, some of us come from certain resources which most of us or some of us do not, and we don't really put these things into account when we compare ourselves with our peers, or who are more or less the same age as us but have achieved or have more things than us, or have the things that we would like for ourselves. And sometimes it's never really the things that we would like, but it's the things that we've been conditioned to think that we want because we see the other person have. And it was never really your goal in the first place, but just because the other person has it and is being gratified for it and applauded on it, congratulated on, now you feel like you have to do it too. You know, not all of us have to get degrees, not all of us have to get, not all of us have to have the things that other people have at the same time. Like, we don't all have to strive for the same things. The best thing you can ever be in life is be different from the rest, because once you are like the rest, everything just becomes monotonous. You know, everything just becomes the same. You can't stand out. You can't be extraordinary. You'll just be another ordinary being. And there's definitely nothing wrong with standing out, because at the end of the day, you know what you want for yourself. I know what I want for myself, and if I keep working on what I want for myself, and as much and as consistent as I can, and that applies with my YouTube in everything I've been trying to do on the side, I've been struggling with doing. But yeah, man, I feel like when we operate this mindset of scarcity and feel like we don't have enough, I don't have enough money, I don't have enough clothes, I don't have enough food, I don't have enough, I can't afford this. Like, the more we tell ourselves that we don't have enough, the more we will have things that are not, the more we will never have enough. Okay, let me put it that way. The more we say we don't have enough, the more we will never have enough, because this is what we're putting out in the universe. Like, you know, when they say you reap what you sow, that's exactly, like, the more you say these things, the more you believe it, and the more the universe also reciprocates the same thing that you've been saying. Like, it's like what I said before, when you look in the mirror and you say you're ugly, you're gonna find more ugly things to see about yourself, right? It's until you change your perspective and you see yourself as a beautiful person that you really are, only then will you be able to realize that, oh my God, my freckles are cute, oh my God, I have dimples, oh my God, look at my body, you get me? Like, it's the seed that you plant that grows, that you have to water day in and day out. So you can't plant a lemon tree and expect avocados. You know, it doesn't make sense. Like, it doesn't make sense. And this is what a lot of people have been doing previously. Like, you will plant your lemon seed and you'll be busy like, oh my God, I hope it's a lemon, I hope it's a lemon, I hope it's a lemon. But what if it's not a lemon? Like, what if it's not a lemon? And then boom, it grows avocados. It's like the seed that you planted grew into something different. You know why? Because it's the failure that you've been expecting. You expected whatever you wanted in your life to fail, right? You were like, okay, I'm giving my energy to this thing. I just hope it doesn't fail. Like, I hope it doesn't fail. I hope it doesn't fail. The more you focus on the negative side of things, of I hope it doesn't fail, you might think it's a positive mindset. It's not. Because the only thing in your mind is failure. You're not thinking about the success that waits for you on the other side of the tunnel. You only think about, oh my God, I hope this does not fail. So whatever you put out is what you're going to get in. You put out negativity, you receive negativity back. And for most of you guys who know, I've been on this spiritual journey this year and trying my utmost best to change my mindset, you know, and it takes time, it takes practice, and it takes a lot of patience. And I have to say, I'm grateful for where I am. And that's the thing, most of us forget the fact that we started off further than where we are today, and we are living in one of our manifestations. You are living in an answered prayer, right? You might think that the year so far has gone and you haven't achieved much, but then you have to realize the fact that you are living in an answered prayer. You may have prayed to be in varsity. Look at where you are right now. You may have prayed for a certain kind of job, but where you are right now, you got this stuff a job. Might not be the job that you wanted, but this job that you might have right now might get you the skills that will get you to the next job that you have. Because at the end of the day, we can't have everything we want the time we want it to happen. Right? There's certain skills and certain things that we have to go through along the way. It's like I've been reading this book from Tyler Perry, Higher is Waiting, and he says there he was exercising almost daily, and he would run like 10 miles in an hour, right? And then he stopped because he was very busy with his job. He got very busy, producing and writing films and all this stuff. And then when he came back, trying to redo the whole thing of running every morning, he could not cover 10 miles. He couldn't even cover 1 mile in the set time that he had. And a friend of his said, it's not about the destination or how long it took for you to get to the destination, but about the endurance of the experience. Like, once you remove your mind from the end goal, because at the end of the day, it's not about the destination, it is about the process. It's about you trusting the entire process, knowing that every step of the journey will get you to where you want to be. You're still young, I'm still young, and it's still June. December is way too far. You can achieve whatever you have put out in your vision board this year, whatever you have planned on achieving this year. The more you work on it, the more it's going to work out. And it's never really about the end goal. It's never really about the end goal, but the endurance and what you've learned throughout the entire process. In this book, I want to quote what he says. He says, well, oftentimes we focus our energy in a negative direction, and then we get disappointed when we don't like what grows out of it. Yet the rule is simple. What you plant in your life, you will receive in return. Right? So, I want us to remove that the negative mentality of saying that I don't have enough, I can't afford this, or I'm not where I wanted to be right now. You are not where you wanted to be. You are exactly where you need to be. Like, this is a very crucial time. Like, try and see things from a more positive light, instead of beating yourself up and saying that you don't have the things that you had wanted, you're not where you wanted, you have not achieved the things that you wanted for yourself. Have patience with yourself. Be patient with yourself. Be patient with the process. And the best thing you can do right now is ask. Not ask from another person or your neighbor. Just ask from God, ask from the universe, ask from the ancestors, whatever you believe in, ask. Just ask. And the best thing that I've been doing recently is I've been journaling, right? I've been writing my goals for the year, like goals for 2022. I may not have achieved most of the things that I've written here, but I know that the year is still young. I can still do these things. In fact, I want to read this to you guys, right? I wrote this during the start of the year. It was around January, right? My other journal had ran out. Previously, I was journaling on this book. This is my diary that I got from school back in 2019. I used this as my journal from 2019 up until last year. So I bought myself this book, and it's just a manuscript book, and I just use it as my journal. But I want to read to you guys what I wrote out at the beginning of the year and why it's important to journal, so that you can always reflect and never forget the purpose of why you started the journey on. Never forget why you are on the journey that you started on, because at the end of the day, we grow up and we forget, time flies, and we get distracted by life. Life happens to every one of us, and we forget what the reason was in the first place for us to be in the path that we are on. So I want to read this to you guys. The year 2022 is the best year for my career and for me personally. I am grateful for everything that I have and for the dedication I have shown towards my craft and bettering myself. My goals for 2022: get myself a camera, a DSLR or a vlogging camera. Money, content creation, love, platonic and romantic, an apartment, my own place, a place they can call my own, and not a residence for students, I am grateful for the power and knowledge of the secret. Without it, I wouldn't have brought in my life all the things I wouldn't have brought to my life all the amazing things I have so far. I am happier. I am happy and I'm grateful for everything that I have and the more that is coming. Thank you. Right? And that's just what I wrote in the beginning of the year. There's so many other things that I have written in the past, but that's just for me and my God and universe. But I've been using this book to literally manifest everything that I want. I write it down and I always go back to it whenever I'm feeling down, whenever I don't feel like working. I always go back. Either I go back and write more, or I go back and read, so that I can go back into that state of mind and have that vibration connection with the universe, with God, so that I can feel like, okay, Z, we are centered right now. We're no longer listening to what our negative mind is telling us, but like being in tune with ourselves and continuing the path that we had set out for ourselves and that God has set out for ourselves. So if any of you guys have any goals for yourself, I advise you guys to start journaling them down. You can write it as a prayer, you can write it as a letter to yourself, a letter to you, like however way you wish to do it, right? And in here, I mentioned that I'm grateful for the power and knowledge of the secret. Without it, I wouldn't have brought all the things in my life that I have so far. The Secret is literally it's actually a book by Rhonda Byrne, and it's one of the books that have helped me out. I read the book last year, December. Yes, one of the books that have helped me open up my mind and understand the law of attraction much better. And now I'm busy reading the Tyler Perry book. I've read Alicia Keys' book, which is More of Me. And one thing I can say about all these three books, they all have like one thing in common: the law of attraction. How they lived in a mindset of scarcity. How Tyler Perry was told from a young age that he can't achieve the things that he has achieved right now. He was told that he can't do certain things, like he won't be nothing, he won't amount to nothing. And this was someone he loved who told him this. This was his father who told him these things. He says so in his book, right? And how Alicia Keys as well was beating herself down, feeling like inadequate because she came from an impoverished background, and now that she had garnered all this money as someone who is in the music industry from a very young age, she couldn't spend her money because she was scared of losing that money, right? She was operating in the mindset of negativity, a mindset of scarcity, because she's not used to having so much money. And then now what if it all goes away overnight? We always live with that fear. Whenever we come to spend money, we are scared of losing it. We are scared of spending too much. We're scared of even spending a little on ourselves because we feel like we are not worthy. We feel like Sophelelwa imali, the money might run out, and what else are we going to do after the money runs out? We are abundant beings. We have everything we want and need to make that money back. We have everything we want and need to literally attract and have everything we want in this life. I believe that I don't have anything that I don't need right now. I have myself, I have my gift, I have everything I need. So do you. You might want to start a YouTube channel. You might want to be a film student. You might want to start writing plays. You have a pen and a paper, right? You have a cell phone. You have, start with what you have and you grow from there. You have literally everything you need. Look around you. Stop looking for the things that you do not have and start looking for the things that you do have. And only then will you be able to be grateful for the things you have and be able to attract more things that you want for yourself. Like I said, I am grateful for all that I have and the more that is coming. That's my mantra. Every day, after manifesting, after praying, I am grateful for all that I have and the more that is coming, because I know the universe is going to bring more towards me. And even the Bible says this for those of you who are Christians. Whatever you say in prayer, believe that you have it and it shall be yours. Right? You have to pray from a point where you feel like the things that you have, the things you're praying about, you have them. Like I was reading here, I read this in the present tense. I wrote this in the beginning of the year, but I said the year 2020 is the best year for my career and personal life. I am grateful for everything that I have and the dedication I've shown towards my craft and bettering myself. This is in the present tense, right? I did not write I will be grateful. I I didn't write it, I believed it at that moment I wrote it. And I have achieved half of the things that I've written down here for my goals for 2022. And it's only halfway through the year. So imagine what more I can achieve with this mindset that I've garnered so far. So I don't want to live with this on my own. I want to share this knowledge with you guys. And I also want you guys to check out these books. It's Higher is Waiting by Tyler Perry, The Greatest Secret or The Secret by Rhonda Byrne, and More Me. Yeah, it's More Me by Alicia Keys. These three books are literally one of the best reads that I've read so far this year, and are very mind-opening, and they've kept me in tune with my path. Made me believe more in myself, believe more in the universe, believe more in God, and knowing that God has plans to prosper me and never plans to, harm me. Life happens to all of us, but it's 90% of what happens to us and 10% of how we react to it. So you need to be able to separate the weed from the crops. And the best way you can do that is focusing more on your crops than your weed. Focus more on what you are growing rather than what is growing around you. So that's it for me today, and I hope you guys can take away something from today's video, and I hope that you guys have a better year. So the remainder of the year becomes better for you guys, with an open mind, open heart, and open hands, so that the universe can just deliver all your blessings onto your hands, So that's it for today's video. If you like the video, please go down below, hit the like, subscribe, and notification bell so YouTube notifies you every time I post a video. But otherwise, I'll see you guys next time, man. I'm going on recess, so see you guys.